Fletcher Ford Show.
Why in the hell haven't they canceled this yet?
I can't stand you guys.
Bigger muscles, more hair, and extra supplements of vitamins A, B, and Z.
The Fletcher Ford Show. The Fletcher Ford Show. The Fletcher Ford Show.
In order to be successful, and you've got to be completely different. You've got to market different. You've got to do things different. You can't be the same.
It's no bullshit, just business.
Don't be an idiot. Yeah, that'd be a great marketing campaign.
Don't be an idiot. Call Josh Jackson.
Yeah.
The best podcast.
Fat guy on wheel. Fat guy on wheel.
For entrepreneurs of all shapes and sizes. The Fletcher Ford Show.
The Fletcher Ford Show. The Fletcher Ford Show. Fletch. The Fletcher Ford Show. The Fletcher Ford Show.
Welcome to the show. Thanks for connecting with us.
Thank you, Fletch.
You're welcome. Let's talk about the season, the new season tonight, season 13, right?
That's right. Season 13 begins tonight.
It's been wild that it's been going on for 13 seasons. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of fans. I mean, what is different about this season than the previous seasons?
Well, we started off our show with Eamon Walker as Chief Bowden, and he was, in fact, he was the first actor cast. So you could say that the entire cast was built around the presence of that man, and his presence is notable and formidable. And so he didn't go on as many calls as the rest of us. He wasn't always around that much, but his presence was felt constantly. And he was a natural leader. The actor himself was among the cast. And then the character, of course, is the leader. So we are without him now. And the characters at the end of the previous season expressed a lot of remorse and apprehension about what was going to happen without him around. So now we've got a new chief showing up. So that is a substantial change, and we are all sort of on pins and needles, the characters in the show, wondering how much it's going to affect their day-to-day life, this new guy. And Dermot Mulroney comes in as Chief Pascal, our new chief, comes in from Florida, of all places. And we are all, he is under our scrutiny, and we're trying to figure out what this is going to mean for all of us. And he is quite an interesting character. So he gets folded in, and he takes over. I don't want to say too much, but the man takes over.
Has the behind the scenes, has the working environment changed a little bit from last season to this season?
Well, thank goodness. Dermot Mulroney is just a regular guy and a champ, and he's got a great heart. He's a sweet guy and super intelligent and super intuitive. So he's disarmingly interesting as a person. So thankfully, we don't have anyone in our cast, and we never have, that anyone's tiptoeing around or anyone that's creating friction or anything like that. We have been blessed. We've never had that, and we all get along very well. There's very much a familial atmosphere on the show. So I have to say, the absence of Eamon Walker as Chief Bowden, the absence of him has definitely left us, missing a dear, dear friend. Mm-hmm. But it isn't like Dermot came in here and all of a sudden everything's changed and we all feel weird. He blended right in because he's a sweetheart. But the character he's playing is much more of a mystery.
Yeah, that's good to hear. This is probably a weird question, but with you being so close, and you actually live in Chicago, don't you?
Yeah.
So what's when the show's going strong, what's everyday life outside of the show like for you in Chicago?
It really depends on where I go. I'm the only one in the cast who was already living here when the show started. I've been here for 35 years now. So
you were doing some theater or something, weren't you?
Yeah. I did theater pretty steadily, and a few movies and TV shows here and there. But it really depends on where you go. If you go to Target, it turns out there are a whole bunch of Chicago Fire fans at Target. If I go to some really, really hip restaurant with a lot of really hip young people, then virtually no one will know who I am. And that has its pluses to it as well. But, I start to dial it in. If you go to perhaps a casino, very heavy on Chicago Fire fans.
I can imagine.
So, yeah, I don't know why. It's just a weirdly subjective thing.
What's something about the show, maybe behind the scenes or anything that you can think of that most people wouldn't know?
I would say most people wouldn't know how on our show, I've done a little bit of work on PD. I've done less work on med. And all I can say is our show has a vibe to it that I think some people, if your job was to keep us all under control, I feel sorry for you. Because it is a very goofy cast. And people you would think wouldn't be goofy, like you would assume David Eigenberg, who plays Herman, who was Steve from Sex and the City, as I'm constantly reminded.
Yeah.
You might guess that guy's a goofball, and he is a goofball extraordinaire. But you probably wouldn't guess that Taylor Kinney, who plays Severide, you probably wouldn't guess how goofy he is. And even Eamon, who was Chief Bowden, even he had a goofy side to him. He enjoyed it, or often he enjoyed being the straight man in the middle of a comedic bit because he was very good at that. So, yeah, I think people would be surprised how loose and goofy everything is on our show, and constantly, by the way.
When you guys are filming a season, how long does it typically take you to lock in a whole season from start to finish?
I can be pretty precise on that. We tend to start shooting July 19th. That tends to be when our season begins. So we catch the heat of the summer. If we're lucky, we have a nice long fall. We go through what is often a brutal winter, shooting outside in the winter. This is probably my least favorite thing, is getting up in the dark on a cold winter morning and knowing I'm going to be out in that cold until the sun goes down, because to shoot our incidents, we need literally every second of sunlight we can get. So we go through, we take a little break in the winter, and then we come around, and then when we finish depends on how many obstacles we've had to overcome, how many setbacks we've had, but we tend to finish sometime in May. So there you go, from middle of July to sometime in May. That's how long it takes us to shoot a season.
What would be a setback that would prolong your schedule a little bit?
Sometimes we'll have an incident that will take more than one day to shoot. And so we go to shoot our first day on the incident and everything goes okay. And we go to shoot our second day on the incident and it's snowing or it's beating down rain. So nothing is going to match from the previous. There can be, COVID, of course, gave us a whole lot of bumps in the road. But if we're missing an actor, if an actor gets sick or something like that, we have to shoot around them, and then we have to come back and shoot their part of that scene, and those kind of things eat up time. We're on a pretty tight schedule as it is. We don't leave a whole lot of slack in the schedule for things like that. So, yeah, we sometimes just have to eat it.
So what can fans expect from your character this season?
My character has decided, after 30-something years in the fire department, has decided it's time to try to make rank. So my character has decided he's going to take the lieutenant's test, and he is studying for it very, very hard. But Mouch, the character's name is Mouch. Mouch's ultimate plan is for Herman to move into the chief seat so that I can take over as the lieutenant on engine. So, there's obstacles to that. Of course, we already have a new chief and all of that kind of stuff. So it's really about maintaining the integrity of Truck. My character is the only one who's remaining from the original lineup on Truck. So I've been on Truck for 13 years. We got Truck, Engine, and Squad for the people who are confused about that. And each one is its own little company within Firehouse 51. So for me, we've got Lieutenant Kidd on Truck 81. We've got me driving Truck 81, and we've got Sam Carver on Truck 81. So we need a fourth guy right now. So that's the big thing is us getting just the right person to fill out the right dynamic on Truck 81. I guess that's what my character's focused on, as well as making lieutenant.
The Fletcher Ford Show. The Fletcher Ford Show. Fletch, Fletch, Fletch. Yeah. The Fletcher Ford Show. The Fletcher Ford Show. The Fletcher Ford Show.